If you're going into your first year of college, the number one thing you have to avoid is gaining the freshman 15. This is when you put on 15 pounds because you're living on your own for the first time and have no idea how to balance your college lifestyle. This is something I've personally experienced. I gained 20 pounds my freshman year, which led to my confidence and self-esteem being at an all-time low. So if I could go back in time, here are the 5 things that I would do to make sure that I didn't gain that weight. The truth is, 90% of the weight you gain your freshman year comes from 3 things: alcohol, convenient high-calorie food, and a complete lack of daily movement. When you first get to college, your lifestyle typically revolves around drinking multiple times a week, living off the dining hall and takeout, and spending most of your days sitting in lectures or on your laptop. And the part most people understand is the freshman 15 doesn't hit you all at once. It slowly compounds from those bad habits you're repeating every day. Now, in my opinion, you have to start with your diet, because you could be completely sober and getting 20,000 steps a day, but if you're eating more calories than your body is burning, you're guaranteed to stay fat. But the problem with college is you're constantly surrounded by cheap and convenient food. Oftentimes, there's literally a pizza place right next to your dorm and vending machines in every building. So here's what I want you to do. For the entirety of your freshman year, I want you to eat 2 meals and 2 snacks every day. If you can stick to this approach, you'll easily be able to control your calories without having to track anything. Now, these meals can come from a number of different places, but if you have unlimited swipes at your dining hall, I'd recommend trying to eat at least one of your meals in there. So when you first walk into the dining hall, scan what's available and then build out one solid plate. Make sure you include a high protein option and don't drown your meal in a heavy sauce. Also, make sure to grab a water or a diet soda, as that can help you save an extra 200 or 300 calories. Now, you should try to limit yourself to 1 plate, but if you're genuinely still hungry, then you can go back and grab a snack to take to your dorm. But the food in the dining hall isn't always going to be the best, but it's a great option if you're low on funds and need a quick meal. Now, on the other hand, if you're eating takeout, that's a completely different ballgame. You gotta find 2 or 3 spots on campus that you know have some high protein options that won't break the bank. Places like Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, and even Panda Express are great options if you know what to order. And once you find a couple go-to meals, those can become staples that you have 3 or 4 times a week. Also, when you eat out, make sure that you're not ordering a regular soda, because that will just throw off your whole meal. But if you do slip up or end up going out to eat with your friends, you can always offset that by cutting back your calories in the next couple of days. And lastly, we got to talk about your snacks. You should be leaning on things like Greek yogurt cups, protein bars, or even beef jerky. All in all, your diet your freshman year doesn't have to be that complicated. You just have to find 4 or 5 high protein meals that you like and a couple of snacks that can hold you over. If you can stick to this framework for your entire freshman year, you can avoid 90% of the weight gain everyone else experiences. The next thing I'd recommend is using the fact that you don't have a car on campus during your freshman year to your advantage. Because if you walk to and from the gym, the dining hall, and all your classes, you can easily rack up 8,000 steps just during your school day. Another reason freshmen gain all that weight is because their daily movement completely falls off a cliff once they get to college. I mean, think about it. In high school, you had sports and after-school activities, but once you get to college, a big chunk of your time is spent either sitting in lectures or laying in your dorm. And it doesn't have to be a massive change. Maybe you just stop Ubering across campus and do the 20-minute walk. Or instead of going back to your dorm immediately after your class, you walk around and talk to some people. And who knows, it might even become something that you enjoy. But if not, I still guarantee it's a whole lot better than just sitting around all day. And last but not least, the final way to avoid gaining that freshman 15 is to really cut back on your drinking. Now, if you're a freshman, I don't recommend you drinking at all. Not only is it illegal, but it has little to no positive impact on your life. But even with me saying that, I still know you're going to do what you want to do. So if you do decide to drink, here's the best way to minimize the negative side effects. So by now, we should all know that the calories from alcohol add up fast. So I'd actually recommend going with lower calorie options like White Claw, vodka soda, light beer, or even any other seltzer. I'm sorry, but you got to skip out on those margaritas, sugary mixers, and jungle juices, because you can easily drink an extra 500 calories without even realizing it. Also, try to only go out once or twice a week. I know it's hard, but anything more than that is really going to take away from your physique. So once again, drinking as a freshman is not recommended, but if you're going to do it, at least use these low calorie swaps so you can avoid being out of shape and an alcoholic. So there you have it. If you can eat 2 meals a day, walk wherever you need to go, and keep an eye on your drinking, you can avoid that freshman 15 without giving up any of your favorite foods or missing a single party. So I encourage you to start building some of those habits today, and I promise, once you notice how good it feels to look and perform better, everything else will come automatically. So if you found any of this helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you dropped a like and subscribed. I'm trying to pump out at least a video a week for you guys, and I hope you're getting some value out of them. So once again, thank you for watching, have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next one.